From London, England, where the Queen lives.
Recorded live from an underground bunker and packaged into an MP3 with a pretty little picture. Helping to kickstart your day with the motivation and inspiration you need 365 days a year. This is the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. And this is your host, Chris Jaggs.
Good morning! I'd like to give you a big welcome to another episode of the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. This is episode 102 of the weekly show. Wow. My name is still Chris Jaggs, and I'm glad you downloaded or streamed here today. This week's episode is looking at just how you can start over again in life, business, interests, whatever is important to you, to get yourself started and moving forward again. Now, I think the best way to describe this could be if you just got yourself out of a hard, long-term relationship, trying to please the other person as much as you could, but still not able to. You're unhappy, and finally, it's over. Now, the problem you may have here is you've changed so much during your previous relationship. Just who are you really? What happened to the old you before that relationship? Have you just become a shadow of your former self? Right, now before we get into this, let's have those messages and let's just dive right in.
This is the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement, but in a podcast kind of way.
If you've got a question, comment or idea, you send an email to chris@learndeveloplive.com. Everyone gets a mention. You're listening to the Learn, Develop, Live podcast.
Welcome back. Now, it really is true that it's never too late to build the life that you want on your own terms. Now, to get started again when you become unstuck, you just need to start. And of course, you want to push yourself forward for this. Now, as we said with the relationship thing earlier, sometimes you can lose your way, whether it's been just changing too much to suit others, maybe becoming stuck with a project, or find out that your career you've always dreamed of, well, it just actually isn't what you expected, despite the years of training and commitment you put towards it. Now, everyone is different with these things. Some people find it easy to press the reset button with the relationship part anyway, but not the career part, and vice versa. In any situation, whatever you're ending, you're packing up, leaving everything you know behind and moving to a brand new place to rebuild your life, parts of your career, just whatever it looks like to you right now. Welcome to waking up from the situation, and although that may sound a tad dramatic, some people hang around stuck in their rut for years. But the time for change is now. We all know how life is apparently meant to roll. We start with childhood, start to find our feet, breeze through school, college, university, find your dream job, score the perfect partner and live happily ever after with the house, family car, maybe a dog and your one annual summer holiday every year. Or something like that anyway. Truth is, life isn't like that, is it? It doesn't work the way they said it would. But you know, if it did, then your life could be incredibly boring and very predictable. Sadly, people are lying to you if they say that's exactly how happy and, well, possibly the delusional they are right now. Now, it reminds me of when people say that their children are perfect every single day. 100% angels. No. Now, clearly, they don't see them enough. Or, again, they're also lying. You see what I mean? No child is 100% perfect all the time or well behaved. Now, I'm sure you're well aware that life is anything but a straight line. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's boring, sometimes it can be bad, but there's plenty of time to recover from the trauma of living through it all. Life does not care how old you are, it will throw all sorts of things at you. You'll lose a parent, you'll lose friends, you might become ill or suffer a really bad injury. You might feel that life is falling apart at times. You might even discover that your partner's been cheating on you. Sorry, but it's a sad truth. But you know what they say, welcome to life. Now, unfortunately for a lot of people, life isn't the big Disney film full of magic, rainbows, unicorns and pixies. Bad things happen to good people on all sorts of levels. Relationships break up all the time. Anxiety and depression can tighten their grip, and addictions have the power to break even the strongest people amongst us. But once you made it through the worst and the dust settles, it's time to start over. This is your time to start all over again. It's all part of your natural evolution to becoming a smarter, better and stronger version of you. Because after all, this is all about you. So then, how do we go about starting all over again and rebuilding parts of our life from scratch? Now, it's important to say here that it might not be easy, and it's purely based on just exactly what you need to do, as well as what you want to do with the process of rebuilding parts of your life, or even just your life from the ground up. Having a plan will greatly increase your chances of making the right changes for you. Now, you can start by just having a clear out. To build something good, you need to have good daily habits. Now, to help you turn a new and unfamiliar, and of course uncomfortable action into a new daily habit, you'll need to take some action and putting it in place. Setting up a fresh, new, clean environment for yourself is only the start, and keep your surroundings looking good will only set you up for the day. US Navy Admiral William H. McRaven said that his first great habit that you can do is always to make your bed in the morning, because no matter how bad a day you have, you'll always come home to a freshly made bed afterwards. Now, the clear out means just clearing space where you spend most of your time in clutter, trash and chaos. The result of this will mean a calmer, clearer and focused mind that will help you move forward with your plan, as well as trying to stick to it. When I worked back in the toy shop, I hated messy floors. There'd be toys on the floor and things just dumped on shelves. It became a bit of a thing where the people working in each section would focus on getting the product up and off the floor, or me just saying the word floor. It was a trigger word just to get them to stop, and they knew exactly what I meant. Clear your environment, and this will always help clear your mind. And clearing your mind is the perfect starting point to rediscovery of yourself. The second thing you should look at is just make peace with reality and work with it, not against it. Now, we often get stuck in life because we're either unable to or unwilling to accept our reality as it is. Instead, we're just stubborn and we continue to indulge in fantasy, specifically how we wish things were. Now, this is where you need to start getting real with yourself, no matter how unpleasant it is for you right now. Now, you could ask yourself about your situation that you're in right now, how you can work with it and not, just what you wish it was. You'll get there eventually, but you have to start this as your starting point. Next, it's worth reflecting on what and where you went wrong. Now, no one likes to start planning not to fail or to create a disaster, but somehow we end up taking one or several wrong steps along the way, and we find ourselves on a painful path that we never expected to be on. Now, whether these bad steps were driven by ego, a lack of awareness, miscalculation, denial, or just simply careless, you owe it to yourself to be honest and be the captain of your ship. All aboard! It's only when you've taken the time to reflect and figure out what went wrong and where the things start to fall apart that you can start to put together a nice new shiny plan with your success-driving strategy baked in. This is a plan that will help you make the progress you've always wanted, so make it a good one. Now, part of that plan should be to revisit your goals and your values. Now, before you take one step forward on your brand new path, you'll need to make your foundation nice and solid. Now, you may have an idea of where you'd like to go, so run through a little stress test. How do you want to live? Does your idea align with your values? What are your values anyway? What will you do if someone close to you disagrees or tries to tear it down? What will happen if you find yourself feeling tempted to just stray away from a little bit? Put your ideas, values and stress test answers down on paper so you can see them all in one place and just let it all sink in. Once you've completed all that, you should decide what you actually want to do next. It's time to decide which path do you want to take. The word decision comes from the Latin word decisio, which literally means to cut off. But while picking one path means cutting yourself off from the others, this doesn't mean that you can't course correct later by choosing a different one if things don't work out or, just don't feel right. This is why it's good to have many options, just in case the first one isn't the one for you. Now, next, you should really work up the courage to just do it. Just go with it. Now, it's okay to feel terrified about heading into a brand new, uncharted territory. It'd be weird if you didn't feel that, right? But know that this is the point where you start putting one foot in front of the other, regardless of how you feel, or chicken out and retreat to your little cave. It's time to get yourself moving, despite the paralyzing fear and soul-crushing doubt that you're making your feet and heart feel like leading you. Be brave and be strong. We're all behind you. Part of building up that courage will be identifying the obstacles standing in your way. Being consistent with your brand new habits will give you the results you're after and keep you inspired to keep going. That is, of course, until you hit a wall. Here, you'll get stuck. Again. It happens, and it will happen. It happens to everyone. Happens to me. Happens to you. Happens to the person next door to you. Your body will adapt to your new workout program. Your new daily routine will eventually feel mundane and boring. It will cause your motivation to take a dip. Or maybe you experience a huge setback, leaving you feeling down, just confused. It'll be at this point that you'll need to diagnose the problem, regroup, and bring out, dun dun dun, your life makeover first aid kit to fix it. Your priority? Well, just figure out your way around this thing, the thing that's standing right in front of you, and then you can keep yourself moving on your brand new path. Now, once you've worked out what the obstacles will be, design a plan to eliminate them. Knock them out your way. Now that you know what's blocking your progress, your next step will be to make another crucial decision. What can you do to get this obstacle out of your way? Now, it could mean adding or subtracting something or someone from your life. It could mean making the tiniest tweak to your diet. It could mean switching jobs. Again, it could mean changing your thoughts or how you talk to yourself. Look, I didn't say it's going to be easy, did I? But I can tell you this. You'll be glad that you do this. You'll be glad that you follow it through, because the results at the end will be amazing. With your plans in place and knowing how to crush those little obstacles when they will come up, the next thing is to overcome your fear of being wrong. Now, you've taken a couple of wrong turns and ended up getting burned. We've all done it. And now you're afraid to make mistakes and have developed the habit of doubting yourself, overanalyzing every move you're thinking of making and hesitating mid-step. Now, here's something you need to know. The mistakes are never going to stop coming. If anything, they're only going to creep up and become more frequent. They get more challenging and they take just as much time or more to recover from. With or without the fear and whether or not you give into it, you'll make more mistakes. So wouldn't you rather just get on with it and make as many mistakes as possible, learn from them all, and make yourself even better? The last step is simple. Get yourself a mentor or a coach, just someone that will hold you accountable for the things you're trying to do, help push you along, and hopefully, if you do get stuck, be able to give you that little bit of encouragement to keep going. And this person could be someone that's achieved a goal that you've set your sights on. Maybe they've reinvented themselves successfully, or maybe they just have the qualities that you're working towards built inside them already. And of course, no, they don't have to be someone you know. Sometimes someone completely fresh and brand new to your life. They can become easy to talk to and just, put your fears and feelings out in the open without any judgment. Now, those are the steps that you can take to help rebuild your life. And what are you going to start with? The question is, what will you do next? Now that is our episode finished. We will come to a close and I hope you got some sort of guidance and, some idea of where to start, because being happy is the point of your life. Oh, and don't forget whatever issue you've got to deal with right now. Or if you want some more guidance on what we just spoke about, you can book your call, ldlcall.com, or send me a text message on 07801 543 515 and let's talk soon. If you want to dive into this little guide a little bit deeper with some sort of actionable plan, we can do that. Whatever you want to do, please leave your credit card at home too, because this is no pitch on this call. No pitch at all. It's a great conversation, brainstorm the best strategy to help you grow even further. So book your slot on the LDL calendar at ldlcall.com. Let's speak soon. And as for the podcast, well, take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next one.
Hello? Hello there, folks. We're mighty glad to have you with us.
Learn, develop, live. Learn, develop, live. The perfect start to the day.
Goodbye.
What? It's over already?
All over.
Thank you for listening to the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. I hope you feel as warm, motivated, and fuzzy inside as I do. You can connect with Chris at learndeveloplive.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
I won't say goodbye. I'll just say until we meet again.
Until next time, join the motivation.